Welcome in, everybody. Tony Caridi along with WVU Athletic Director Shane Lyons. Thanks for being with us. This conversation brought to us by WVU Medicine, the official medical provider of the Mountaineers. A lot to talk about since the last time we got together as we get ready for the start of the sports season. We've got football obviously in the midst of preparation, and before you know it, how about this? An opportunity to host a home football game with 100% capacity. That's going to be nice, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be great. You know, that was my goal going into the fall semester, was to get back to 100% capacity. You know, we need Mountaineer Nation to support this team. It's time for us to get back out. A lot of things happening, you know, within our football program. You know, we have tickets still available, family packages still available for the Long Island game, still mini packets still available, still season tickets available, Tony. So, you know, we're excited for it. We're glad to have the fans back at Mountaineer Field, and should be an exciting time.
Yeah, so family day for the opener against Long Island, and then the following Saturday, it's already a sold-out game as Virginia Tech comes to town, and the Black Diamond Trophy will once again be contested. With what is going on, and we're going to touch on conference news coming up here, how important is attendance this year for Mountaineer football in the big scheme of things?
Well, it really drives the engine, you know, here, that as we move forward, and attendance is a key part, not only from the, you know, from the resources it provides to the department as a whole, but what it does for our student athletes. So it's important that we support these student athletes. They're excited. I've been out to practice a couple times, and they're excited to say, hey, you know, Mountaineer Nation will be back. They'll be supporting us. Obviously, we want to be singing Country Roads at the end of the fourth quarter there. So, you know, it means a lot. You know, so it kind of goes into, Tony, that, you know, we're still in kind of an unstable area with the, you know, people have the vaccines and the Delta variant that's out there, you know, as part of COVID. So, you know, I just encourage everybody to get vaccinated, be there to support this team. You know, good things are going to happen, and, you know, I'll always say the Mountaineer Nation's the 12th man. It makes a difference, and, you know, you see that, you know, there's no better place to be on Saturdays than Mountaineer Field.
We're looking forward to that. All right, let's jump in here to conference news and notes. And I know it's still pretty much in the very, very early stages of what's going on, but what can you let us in on as to what's happening right now?
Well, you know, there's just a lot of moving parts with this. You know, a month ago, this thing unraveled so quickly, Tony, and actually I was out of town and coming back when the news first broke. You know, was a surprise to all of us, including, you know, the conference office. So now, you know, this is put in front of us, and we have to deal with it. So again, we have time. You know, it's not a matter of the last realignments that there was a lot of scurrying going on, and people are trying to find a place for a new home in a conference. So we do have a little bit of runway as we work through this. You know, it's been said publicly that, you know, that Oklahoma and Texas is not leaving the conference until, you know, after the spring of 2025. Obviously, that can all change as we go, but, you know, that's our anticipated timeline. So we're working through those things and seeing what all, you know, different options we have, you know, as the 8 remaining Big 12 members. You know, what I can say to Mountaineer Nation is that, you know, be patient as we go through this thing. It's not going to happen very quickly. You know, there's a lot of, you know, things that have to happen for us to make moves. It kind of feels like a chess game a little bit, Tony, to say, you know, what's this conference going to do? What is this conference going to do? What's this institution going to do? And then, you know, you play off of that. You know, I think it's going to really, through once football starts, it'll quiet down a lot. That doesn't mean that myself and President Gee and the Big 12 Conference as a whole is not working behind the scenes. But, you know, a lot of this you don't want to bring out to the public just because, you know, there's a lot of rumors that float out there. So we want to kind of, you know, work through this thing, and, you know, we're on top of it, and, you know, let's look at all different options. This gives us an opportunity to look at different options of what's best for West Virginia University, and that's my focus. That's Gordon Gee's focus as we go on there, is what's best for us.
A couple of years ago, you and I were talking, and you said, obviously, making improvements and expanding facilities and things like that. They're done for the now, but they're also done for your brand for the future. And I would think unexpectedly going into this situation right now, and I'm not going to call it a resume, but you've got your resume shiny and bright right now.
Right. Well, I didn't expect this at all, and that was never, part of the upgrades and my vision and the department's visions moving forward, but it was building our resume. And, now we've done a lot of great things, to our facilities and the upgrades associated with that. You and I took the tour last week of the Pushkar Center and what that change really has meant to our football program. You see it in recruiting, you see it across all of our sports, with other things coming online. So yeah, our resume is very shiny. We're one of 3 institutions that has both men's and basketball historically ranked in the top 20 of those programs. And so we have a great resume. It's just a matter of finding the right spot for us. We're resilient. We've always been resilient. This isn't the first time West Virginia's been in this type of situation, and we'll land in a good spot.
We're closing in on about 7 weeks of the world of name, image, and likeness. We didn't know what it was going to be like once it started. What's your take?
It's kind of what I've expected. A lot changed right at the end. There were different set of rules, regulations, guidelines as we moved into this. Some states had adopted, state laws. State of West Virginia had not. I was kind of asking them not to adopt state laws, so you could see how this thing it was going to unfold. And it was probably best that we didn't have state laws, because now, as an institution, we can have our policies in place that fit us as an institution. So that kind of worked out for the best. Tony, I think it's kind of what I expected when this all was adopted in July. You had the first couple weeks of the flurry, a lot of media attention, kind of died down. Now we're getting into football. You're still going to see the real big deals that student athletes are making, but it's really out there to help our student athletes as a whole. And kind of a little bit we're building this plane as we fly. There's a lot of unknowns as we've gotten into this, but again, we continue to educate our student athletes, try to promote our student athletes of opportunities out there. And that's what we're trying to do, the big picture, and help our student athletes have those great opportunities to use their name, image, likeness.
Yeah. 3 of those former Mountaineer football players are now involved, and I'm talking about John Oliger, Najee Good, and Grant Wiley, with a company called VPO. You've formed a partnership relationship with them. What role do they serve?
Well, the role they're going to serve is they're going to help our student athletes. So really what they're trying to do is go out and help find companies in what companies are looking for, and come back to our student athletes as a whole. This is the departmental wide, to say, here's opportunities to get involved in name, image, likeness. And the student athletes then have an opportunity to say this is something they want to be involved in and not be involved in. And when those deals are brought forward, then the student athlete can sign up for it. So Grant Wiley is actually boots on the ground here in Morgantown in the state of West Virginia, going out trying to find those companies that may want to involve student athletes. So contact the athletic department, us, we can get you in contact with Grant if companies are interested in using our student athletes in their marketing and promotion opportunities. And that's what VPO is all about. What was happening, Tony, was we were getting a lot of phone calls directly to the office. Obviously our plates are full with a number of other items, so we just felt it was necessary for somebody to concentrate on this, and that's why we went with VPO.
Yeah. Part 1 of our conversation in the book. There's a part 2, so do stay with us. More coming up with WVU Athletic Director Shane Lyons. Presentation brought to us by WVU Medicine, the official medical provider of the Mountaineers.